Welcome to Everybody Laughs Podcast. I am Brendan.
I'm seeing. What's happening? How y'all doing? And our special guest,
Larry Danflous.
There it is. And let's just get right into it.
Well, what we was talking about before the camera came on is where to buy the best weed, okay? But, let me just tell y'all, that's with white people. They corrupt you real quick. Because I was talking about where you could go to see the best Bible class.
Nah.
Believe that bullshit if you want. So, Larry.
He said Bible ads.
Do you want to start with the question? Or
I do. I want to ask you a question. First of all, what do you do?
What do I do?
Uh-huh.
I cash checks and chase after women. That's what I do.
Shit, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That makes you as American. Or what do you do for extracurricular activities?
I do comedy.
Oh, so you're a comedian or you're a comic?
I don't know the difference, but
what's the difference?
you gotta ask the crowd. I like the sound of a comic.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I know there is a difference, but I just don't remember. I just get up there and tell jokes, try to get the room to laugh.
Mm-hmm. And comedy is more than just stand-up. So, but,
okay,
or do you do stand-up?
I focus on the stand-up.
Oh, you do? Okay. And I've seen your act. I mean, you're pretty good. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? But,
so yeah, what would you say the difference between a comedian and a comic is?
I think a comic is somebody who can do more physical, but it's all stage orientated. Okay? A stand-up is, of course, as I said, stand-up. But a comedian is more well-rounded to whereas he's branched out. As, in the beginning, all we are is stand-up comedians because it's all we know. But as we do it more and more, we start to branch out and learn more different things. And I think, I guess the level of comedic education is what makes you a comedian instead of a comic?
Well, yeah. People give you a lot of advice, and they'll suggest you could try this or try that, and it might be the right thing to do, but sometimes I don't feel like it's the right thing to do at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe I'm being hard-headed, or maybe I'm being true to myself. I don't know.
Well, are you implying that sometimes it bothers you if people try to give you advice? And stuff?
No, people say anything they want to me most of the time. Now, if I listen, that's the thing. I'm old enough to know better. Just let people talk, and then it's easier to agree with somebody than to argue with somebody. But
that I've heard that before, but I haven't. That's not been my experience.
She argues pretty well.
At work, I had a guy. Every time I see him, I'd see him like once a month, and he'd come and he'd suggest, "You should do this and you should do that," and I knew it was wrong, and I'd say, "Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work here," but I like what you're saying, but I just don't think it's gonna work. And he wouldn't stop. And I tell you what, after the second or third visit, I said, "You know what? I'm gonna give it a try," and it was over. I didn't have to listen to it anymore. I didn't try it. I didn't do anything he said, but he heard me say I'd give it a try, and it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I meant by it's easier to agree.
Some validation there.
Uh-huh.
And it worked.
And I think for me, I'm always open to hear advice and what people think. But I think sometimes knowing that sometimes people just like to hear themselves talk is why I'm hesitant. I actually look for advice and opportunities, but at the same time, especially in construction, it turns into me just saying okay and then doing whatever the fuck I think I.
You kind of sound just like my story.
Well, let's hear it. What
I just said it.
That's a hell of a story, though.
I thought you were gonna go in some past story or something.
It was a very good story. I was.
All right. Shut up.
I was all enthralled and shit. So, how long you been doing comedy?
Close to 3 years. If I throw in some improv, maybe 3.5.
How old were you when you started?
Man, I've been trying to make people laugh since I could remember.
Okay. But really, I'm gonna be a stand-up.
No, that was just a few years ago.
Okay.
Hitting the stage, but I think Well, I had a report card in the 3rd grade that said I was the clown of the class with the quotation
The
mark.
dude said clown in the class when everybody in the world calls it class clown, but we ain't gonna say that.
No, she quoted me and said clown of the class, like it was a bad thing.
Oh, it's almost like a write up. Like
Yeah.
Well, it was a write-up. When the teacher writes you a letter, it's
Yeah.
never gonna say I love you. It's always, boy, your stupid ass in my class.
That fucking square bitch. She hated life.
Ah, fed off a lot of teachers like that, especially in college. Them bitches was not having it. I got a lot of B's in college.
I think a lot of professors in college, most of them are inflated with ego. So I mean, not to say you can't learn from them, but
They are.
it's
Do you have a degree, Brandon?
we already discussed.
Okay,
it.
so I'm just saying that's why
I do.
Because people like us, Larry, you know what I mean. we don't have no education like that. We got no degrees and shit. You know what I mean.
Well, you didn't finish college?
No, I had a family.
Oh,
Had to work.
What you
Yeah.
trying to
Had to pay
say?
bills.
Motherfucker, I was fucking even back then.
I had both. All right.
I heard that and still wasn't fucking. How a motherfucking single man got a boat named fucking?
I said both. Not a
Yeah,
boat.
both.
Oh, so you said a boat.
Yeah, I wish I had a boat.
Oh, well.
That'd be fun.
I wish you could have fun on a boat.
Hey, we should, this summer, us 3 on a
Fuck
boat,
that boat,
and a bunch of...
Yeah, dude, check this out. Stop playing. This is like I'm going hunting with a whole bunch of white guys. And everybody say, how'd you drown? Well, I got on the boat with some white guys and started talking stupid. And the next thing you know, I was swimming in the water. And as you know, we don't swim well.
Well, I'm glad you said it because,
This episode's called White People Shit.
Hey, check this out. That's the name of my memoirs.
Speaking of, Larry, how long had you had jungle fever?
Man.
Wow, I can't believe he asked you that shit on TV. Okay, so stop right a second. We're gonna get back to that in just a second. Hold on, let me ask you a question, and then we're gonna get back to the jungle fever thing, right? So in 2025, Larry, okay, what we're doing, we are trying to put together 4 women that Brendan can date. Okay, in 2024.
Larry,
do we have to tell them who they dating first?
Well, see, here's the problem. They get to see him because it's a video and everything. They see this motherfucker.
Okay.
So it's probably going to be rough on us. But we're trying to get 4 chicks to go out with him and see if he can't find a love connection in 2025. Because
Anything's possible.
Well, 2024 it didn't happen. In 2023 it didn't
Larry
happen.
and I have
In
had...
2022 it didn't happen.
He'll cast
So you know what I mean? I don't know what you saying possible is, but it's, they say anything is possible. It is. It's highly
Cast a
probable.
wider net. Cast a wider net.
Hey, Larry...
That dude went way to California. Okay, then he went to Texas, and then his ass went to Detroit. If you can't find a white woman in Detroit,
I did not go to Detroit.
I think passport bros is his next step. I think.
Oh yeah, there you go. You go get one of them motherfuckers who need a green card. That's what you need to do. That's when you find true love. Because American women just ain't into you. I don't know why. But
hey, Larry,
why do you think, Larry? Why do you think that American women is not into him?
Larry has heard my struggle on rides home many times.
I tell him to drop me off early. I don't know.
That's rough as you feel bad for him, don't you? Not me. Fuck him. Okay.
I was say for a little bit, but it goes away.
Yeah, it does, because, I mean, it's really ridiculous. 30 years old, got a degree, got a little dog and everything, all the shit, and ain't got no damn woman. What does that tell you?
I don't know what he's doing, man.
I'm telling you what he's doing. He's gay, okay? If you ain't got to be Perry Mason to keep closing this case.
Hey, on the way here,
You're scaring them all on purpose.
On the way here, Larry and I, we were talking about, because his son's been out there trying to find a woman too. And Larry's like, man, I got all the advice, but I just don't do it. I said, well, let's do a social experiment. I'll try to apply all your advice, and we'll see how it goes. We'll go out.
I tell him he can't be cheap. He got a tip big at the strip club. He don't want to listen.
No, see, there you go. There you go. And look, he tried to run away without paying him. Okay, so.
He's trouble.
Oh yeah. They see it in him.
You blowing up the spot, man. You can't even show her.
Let me just say this. Larry, do you have a woman?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, so Larry's got a woman. Okay, so, then, I have a woman.
How long you been with her?
A long ass time. Long.
How'd you meet?
It was like a Halloween night.
Uh-oh.
And
Did it run for you? Go ahead.
it's in my. It's how we met Halloween night, and it's been hell ever since.
I heard that.
But yeah, I started talking to her friend, and it didn't work out, and then I started talking with her, and yeah, it just kind of worked out that way.
Okay, now listen. I'd like to say this.
But it
See, saying,
stopped and
as
talked.
much as I love you, baby, the reason I don't have to go through all that type of shit is because I have you. Look what he's went through. And of course, we know dry spelled, dry spelled Brandon over here. You know what I mean? Thank you, honey. I don't, but, and then I seen your friends. I don't want them. So, that's good though. And so once you met her, once you got together, you knew that was the one for you, right?
All right, you say so.
See?
See, we can't, man, you all ask way too many questions.
All right, we'll change the subject. We don't want to get him in. We don't want to cause a divorce.
Really? You said the man had jungle fever. Now you want to try to get sensitive? Oh my God! This is some bullshit I'm living. This is the Donald Trump interview of a lifetime.
Hey, Cian's getting married.
I am. I'm
married.
actually found somebody who can put up with me. I like her. She likes me.
It's still in the beginning. I mean, it's still too soon if you ask me, because
I don't want.
I'm like 1,000 years old though. So I ain't y'all young. Y'all got a chance. See, if we have a baby, me and her, then we going on all the talk shows because that motherfucker gonna come out 50.
I'm gonna start calling you Abraham. You got a baby.
Oh yeah,
Benjamin Button. Right?
Yeah, that motherfucker. That's gonna be an old looking baby. I'm gonna just tell you. So. You got any shows planned for between now and shut up, Brandon.
No, real quick.
You got any shows between now?
See, he hasn't got so many grandkids. He could be considered Abraham. But anyways, yeah.
That's what we stop for, y'all.
Yeah.
See, America? I know y'all think that I be taking pot shots and this, you know, it's just so wrong why that big old guy keeps beating up on that little guy.
Abraham.
But see, that motherfucker starts. So look at him. This is Jewish shit. So you got any shows between now and the first of the year?
Yeah, I got, I'm going to be, what do you call that? I'm on the showcase with Sister Lou tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I got a guest appearance on the anniversary show at the Attic on Saturday night.
Cool. Now, what about the first of the year?
Nothing.
Because we ain't even opening up this shit till the first of the year. So I don't even know why I asked you that question.
First of the year, January 17th, I'll be at OH Pizza in Moringa, Ohio.
Just eating pizza or?
No, I will be there. I'm gonna eat some pizza because I'm like a pizza I can't get past the pizza.
See why he's single?
But I'm gonna be doing some jokes. I'll be doing some jokes out there.
That's good. That's good. Let me ask you a question because I don't have nothing else to do. You've been all your time has been here in Columbus.
I made it out to Milwaukee with a friend of mine, and he set up some shows out there. Cincinnati, Dayton. I'm trying to think. Toledo. I hit a spot in Toledo.
What's been like one of your best experiences in comedy?
Meeting me.
Besides you guys.
Yeah, meeting me.
Meeting other comedians and comics.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I'm meeting cool people.
He really loves
I used to, back before I met these guys, I used to think how cool it'd be to have friends that were comics. And it can be, but a lot of times we just end up talking about the business and how much bullshit it is.
Yeah.
And don't get to fuck around.
And then they're insecure. Because as much shit as we talk, they can't have nobody talk about them. Especially if you talk about they fucked up one night. You know what I mean? Then everybody's all mad and shit. You talked about me. Bitch, you a comedian. That's what happens.
It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
As long as you're saying it to them, why not? You know what I mean? I can handle people
I
saying it to me. But if it's going around my back, then that's a little...
I heard a veteran comic say not too long ago that some people are delusional. They'll get off of a shitty stage and say that they did great. And it's like, where were you at?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Not a shitty stage, but they'll have a shitty set.
We know what you meant, Larry. Right. Because, you know, you don't have shitty sets.
Everything's a work in progress. And, I'm trying to get better, but it's like you hit a peak, and then you do less than that, and it still hurts. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. You know, like the night I bombed at this place, when me and you was on the show and you sit there and you were so comforting to me that I just felt like America. That that's why I wanted him to be on the show because he was so comforting to me because I very seldom bomb.
I told him to sit in the car.
And then I had to get that punk a ride home. I was like, this motherfucker.
Don't sit over here. Go sit in the car. We'll be out in a minute.
But let me tell you, if you can't take some of this shit, it's the wrong business.
Exactly. you know what? It at the end of the day, we can't take ourselves that serious. You know, it's jokes, it's fun.
Trying to the last thing you want is people just trying to flatter you. That's not friendship. That ain't gonna help you.
See?
Don't shake
people just kissing your ass and yes, man.
I don't know. I've never had nobody just do it, but I'd like to see it happen at least once or twice. Nobody just kiss my ass.
I think people compliment you. I'd rather take a compliment than.
So then you wasn't there when Larry, because that motherfucker. I mean, and let me just tell you, motherfucker says he can't see hardly, but he saw me. Every time I moved, that motherfucker turned around and pointed in my face. I was like, what the fuck? You were terrible. You suck. What?
Your breath smells bad?
No, I tried to. I didn't have to tell him that. Everybody.
Ain't that a bitch? Did you see this, Merc? This is why.
I tried to tell him what he did good about it.
What he's telling me
and
is
I said getting off that stage was good.
See, here it is. Getting off the stage was a good thing I did. Let me just say this. Serial killers aren't born. They're made. I'm just saying. Jeffrey Dahmer didn't start off, but after 3rd grade, motherfucker working on his nerves. After a while, I was like, come on, eat me a motherfucker. You know what I mean? So, you've been doing this for 3 years. Okay, what's the worst thing about this?
The worst thing? Man. For me, it's, because of my condition, it's getting around. Transportation.
What's your condition?
Being legally blind and not being able to drive. And
yeah, I couldn't see you driving.
Nah, I couldn't.
You want to impress me.
Sometimes you just take the risk, you know.
You want to impress me, I'd like to see you just, go down a straight line right down the freeway. Because do you have what is it, macro degeneration
it's called retinitis pigmentosa.
Okay.
I think the owner of the Wynn Casino, Steve Wynn, he has the same thing.
I think one of baseball owner and shit. That's not a unusual disease. That's
1 in 2,000 people.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah. Well. Okay.
Other than that,
what?
Probably getting booked on shows.
Really?
I mean, some people, man, I don't know. I could just.
Let me ask you real quick. How long were you doing comedy before you started getting some consistent bookings?
Well, I had a friend that was really into making shows, and he kind of took me under his wing and threw me in a lot of his shows. So it wasn't that long.
Okay. So you think that's the way to go? Is like kind of make your own stuff, or?
Oh man, whatever works for people, because making your own stuff, that's work in itself. Finding a venue and producing a show, and then risking. I mean, if you're paying people, you could lose money.
Because you just threw a show this past weekend.
That was my first one by myself.
Yeah.
See, I've been doing this for a while. And everybody's acting like, oh, well, this is your first show. And I'm like, yeah, it's my first show. But I've seen a lot of people do shows before, and I've seen what worked and what didn't work.
Yeah.
So I knew going into it what I was going to have to do. And there's the telling the jokes, the comedy part. That's the fun part. Mm-hmm. And then there's the business part. It's business.
Yeah. I think you're pretty smart business-wise.
I try to keep
the fact that, obviously you have some things that could be seen as barriers, but the fact that you're willing to give it a shot and put yourself out there and organize it and create.
What the fuck else am I gonna do, bro?
But that's a big. I think that's
nobody's gonna do it for me.
That's inspiring for me. But what's one of the big takeaways from this last show you threw that maybe you learn for next time, or that you want to do better?
I wanted to say something real cocky, but
say it. Say it.
No, I just want to.
Not like the other shit he said wasn't cocky, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, well, fuck, I'm the shit. No, I was gonna say,
Oh, well.
no, I was joking.
We all knew that.
It's a
I mean,
joke. I want to say that
you and Brenda's hairline, it's the shit.
I had to.
Listen, I really put myself out there. All right, y'all.
Yeah. What? Cause you took that hat off?
Yeah.
Let me just say this.
You're gonna get 3 replies to try to go out with you now. You just ran one off when you took that
Yeah,
hat off.
I figured
That's
that
all right though.
you gotta know what you're getting into. So here
Wow,
it is.
wow.
But I will say the camera does me dirty. All right. But anyways, what big takeaway or something you learned?
Well, getting people to show up to a show, man, it's a little bit of work. It's a little bit of work. I had a lot of friends that supported me this time, and it just, I don't know. I wanted them to have a good time, and I got good feedback. So maybe I'll do it again in the future.
Awesome.
So, as you navigate these waters, you know what I mean, and you kind of have to do it alone because you have people to help you, but you're coming from a different perspective than a lot of other people. Okay, because of your sightness or non-sightness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but as you do that, you know what I mean. Where do you think, like in the next? Because you're 3 years, you've done really well. So where do you think in the next 3 years you'll be able to go?
Man, the way you hear comedy works is you just keep showing up for work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And waiting for somebody to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, man, I
Your
want you
turn.
to." Yep. And I think that ain't gonna happen sitting at home.
That's true. That's true.
And
You hear that, CN?
Stop playing with me.
Anyways.
Okay.
keep
I have a life.
hitting these rooms up. Go to rooms that make you uncomfortable.
Huh.
Don't go to the rooms where you gonna do well every time. Go to rooms that make you uncomfortable. And I'm just repeating the shit I hear the people say that went through this.
Right.
Everybody goes through it. But
I mean, the comics that have been doing this for 20,
Okay.
30 years. Go somewhere that makes you uncomfortable and get comfortable there.
yeah.
And then go somewhere else and do the same damn thing.
If they don't murder you first before you're coming.
Well, I mean,
right.
we should
Most
all
people who go to comedy shows go there to laugh. So it's, in some places when you go, like we did the show at the Esco's one night, it was really rough on a lot of people because they ain't know how to do crowd work. So, when your jokes ain't working and, you know what I mean, you got to be able to willing to jump into the crowd and then go back to your routine. But a lot of people didn't know how to do this. That really hurt. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this way. Are there comics that you don't like?
I ain't gonna say there's comics I don't like. There's people I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, there's comics that I don't find that funny because of, and they could get a whole room full of people to laugh.
Uh-huh.
And it's just because of my taste in comedy and humor. But I respect everybody out there that does it. But yeah, subject matter, what the joke's about, all that stuff, it makes a difference to me.
I see a lot of white people, not women, but a lot of white dudes like to come from that. And of course, that's not your comedy, but they like to come from that downtrodden. You know what I mean? Donald Trump's talking for me because the world has treated me badly. Place. You know what I mean? And I'm like, how's that possible? For everybody to come from that.
Are you talking comedian-wise?
Yes,
or
comedian-wise.
Oh.
I meant like, that Dennis Leary type of satire.
No,
You know what I mean?
I did like Dennis Leary when he came out.
So you're talking like more like professional comics?
I'm talking about the comics even that we do. I see people get up on stage and they're like, they act like, they've been wronged or...
I think that might be, a lot of my comedy comes from truth, but not all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they're writing on their beliefs or just making up stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
people love to blame somebody else for some shit that they did.
True enough. Now, we have segments, okay? Because we can't just talk about comedy. That's some bullshit.
Hey, before we move on though, real quick,
Yes.
could you ask him if there's people he doesn't like? who would you say inspires you? Like whose influences your comedy?
Man, somebody told me how to answer
Brandon Rich, all my land. I'm so fresh and new to this. God bless you. But anyways,
that. That was my first thought, but
Thank
since
you.
you said it,
It
I
was mine
understood.
too. It was mine too. I was like,
I used to want to say anybody that can make me laugh, honestly,
okay. Well, that's kind of interesting. I wouldn't. You don't hear that too often.
because yeah, I mean, there's a lot of comics and people that do specials that are just funny.
you ever heard of a dude named Ralphie May?
Yeah, a little bit.
You see, he put a smile on his face. Ralphie's he's dead now, but he was really good at being personable.
Yeah, Ralphie May is really great. Yep. My favorite is probably Chappelle. Probably.
Yeah.
Really? All you Ohio people say that.
It's from, I think it's from the Chappelle show.
Oh,
I think it was just from the Chappelle
But
show.
I do remember Half Baked, and wow, that was one dumbass movie. Okay, but I don't know. A lot of people from Ohio say that they give homage to Dave Chappelle, and guess what? He's the OG of the set, so you know what I mean. I can understand that.
Well, and especially like kind of like being like early 2000s with the Chappelle show and just. I mean,
That was
him
it.
being- yeah, I mean that
Well,
had
now-
such a big influence, and
It
because
really
like
did.
we grew
I
up.
didn't watch that shit.
Go back and watch it. It's on Netflix.
I mean, I do. I've seen some of it now, but I've never seen The Color Purple, so I didn't watch that shit.
Do you even see him?
What?
Cien's actually
When's-
a white man in a giant black.
When
man's
did you
body.
lose your black card, and are you trying to reapply and get it back?
All I'm saying is, America, is this is why I have to videotape this shit. Because the judge ain't going to understand why I stabbed him 80 times, okay? But now after seeing this, you understand, don't you? I had to kill both of them. And the dog. Like OJ.
You leave my dog out of this.
He's got to go too.
Don't judge my pour. That was a lot of foam, but
Is that beer or soda?
that's beer. This is a dark
It's like
beer. It's a
Oh,
porter.
O'Doul's extra light.
Maybe if we mention it, we'll get sponsored. Great Lakes. Thank you.
Wow.
Fuck that Grey Goose. Grey Goose.
Yeah, fuck, we have Grey Goose,
Cadillac.
which is so much better
Right.
than Great Lakes,
Hey,
okay? So much
What else do you want? Levi's.
Marijuana strains.
No, that's what we need right there.
Bad
Some
bitches.
motherfucking weed. I'm telling you now. I could really go for a
Sponsored by
joint
local
now.
strip club.
I'm against strip clubs.
Please explain.
I feel like, you know,
Very.
I just feel like them bitches is selling you a dream. And, you know, you're a sucker if you buy that dream. Because they ain't giving you no pussy. So, you know, unless you give them a lot of money. So I'm against strip clubs. If I was going to give a bitch a whole bunch of money to fuck me, it'd be my old lady or another motherfucker I was trying to fuck who I could help her pay a bill.
Right.
You know what I mean? But why would I go have a bitch take their clothes off who ain't gonna give me no pussy? I'm gonna pay you to tease me. Ain't that a bitch?
Wow.
Stop playing. You know what? That's what I told my old lady the other day. Girl, if you take off your clothes, me all my money. We ain't even gotta fuck.
She's like, I'm already getting you married.
Yeah. Shit, you ain't got no more money. It's all mine.
Alright, so you asked about I feel like you're seeing a lot of more well-known white comedians with the whole downtrodden. I don't see where you're going with that. I do know a lot of
I
comedians.
see a lot of them. I don't want to say their names, but I will.
No, I do see a
No,
lot of
don't say
comedians.
their names.
Okay, but I'm just saying though, I mean, I'm not trying to put nobody down because that's your style, that's your style. What I'm saying is, I see a lot more of it than I thought that was, you know what I mean? I thought other people had, like your comedy's not that way.
This
Alright?
president ain't gonna change nobody's lives. I mean,
Oh,
the
stop
people
playing.
that work for him,
Yeah.
but
And the
but
people who got money enough to
save on taxes.
Oh, yeah.
But the people that we all just got took for a ride. You might as well, yeah. We threw our money on stage for a stripper named Trump. We ain't get
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
in return.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people don't understand that I don't really care, okay? Because the day after the election, I had to go to work, no matter who would have won.
It sounds like you kind of care.
Well, my thing is that my
These comics believe in this bullshit.
father was a soldier, Okay, my grandfather was a soldier. My great grandfather was one of the first black men to ever die in a submarine. Okay,
One of the first
We-
black men.
yes,
Yeah.
because they didn't use black men
Did
in
you
the
say
40s.
his great grandfather was the first black man?
When I said one up,
Yeah, no,
they didn't
he
use
didn't catch that. But.
they didn't use black men as radio men back there. It was a very unique position. They used your ass to load the ships.
Right on.
Okay,
What was that in the Civil War?
no, it was after that, dude.
The First World War?
No,
World War II?
I mean, how the fuck old do you think I am? See,
You
this is
old
why-
motherfucker. That's what I was
This
asking.
is why I was bringing the knife, and Brendan told me not to.
War,
you know what I mean?
that
There's
was
a silencer
in
on
the
the weapon.
40s? In the 40s?
Yes.
Okay.
This motherfucker.
All right,
here.
so, but because I will say,
This is America. You can't do this on air. This is drugs. Okay, this motherfucker's high. What?
there
I don't know
was-
what he's on.
Th-
but
this
he's on celibacy, which is even worse than high.
it gets you high in another.
No, it don't. No, it don't. No, it don't. No, it don't.
Anyways, so no, there was a lot
So your
of.
grandparents was fucking at recess.
Well, that is. That motherfucker was saying, listen, we've got to stay pure. We want Brendan to do the same.
I'm not going to comment on that because I'm not going to throw my dado under the bus, but you know. But anyways, there was a lot of white influential comics who came out as, if anything, I'm not gonna say a Trumper, but Republican, right? And I think that was the draw for that. Was I think more people were backing the Republican ideas and principles than the liberal.
But what are the Republican ideals and principles?
Well, it's
Get money.
Yeah, get paid. That's all I can see. And show people how stupid they are. I mean, the man himself said that he would not be a Democrat because they don't believe everything, but he would be a Republican because they believe everything. He said it himself. And then became a Republican, and then he was
After
a
voting
laugh.
Democrat.
Oh, yeah.
His whole life.
He was a laughing stock of the political world, and then he became the messiah for the Republican Party because people, not just white people, that's what fucks me up.
well,
Not just
yeah, you
white people.
can't. There's no way.
There's
you can
there's
just-
way more
Yeah.
y'all demographically and everything else than anybody else.
All
Okay?
right.
But not just white people, because the Cubans overwhelmingly support Donald Trump.
Well, here on my little road trip across the country, I took a
There's
couple.
some.
Yeah,
I took-
how you go from here?
There's some
to
history to that. I
California?
don't have it all together.
Well, and we'll get to that right after. I took multiple Ubers, right?
Mhm,
People from other countries driving my Uber.
mhm,
They said, "Please vote for Donald Trump."
mhm.
I got a joke about having to say goodbye to all my Uber drivers after Trump got elected.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And that's one of my favorite mean jokes. But
So here's the thing: it's like so. I think some of the comments you're talking about are things he said in the past. Do you think? Well, I mean, I guess we really aren't gonna know what it's gonna be like until the beginning of the year.
well, shit.
what's gonna
I
happen?
I just voted for Trump because he's racist. No,
Yeah, probably working out in your household. Woo, Lord, I bet they ain't got no white cheese at your house, huh? I'm just saying, America. Here's the deal. I fought for this country. My father fought for this country. My brother, I didn't really fight because all I did was get high the whole time. You know what I mean? But
Well, you signed up to fight.
well, I signed up to go to college. I didn't sign up to fight. 'Cause
Your name's on
if a motherfucker was fighting,
There
I
was
knew they was
potential.
fighting, I was going someplace else.
it was an opportunity at the time.
There's a chance.
Yeah, for me to go to college and never fight, okay? Because I don't believe in all that. Second of all, if the office of the presidency of the United States does not mean anything, then who are we? And right now, the office of the presidency of the United States means absolutely nothing.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Because I think that you don't like where it's at, but to a lot of people, it means
The
a
people who
lot.
told you to vote for Donald Trump now are laughing at you because now you get exactly what you wanted. You showed who you were. Okay, this is the way it is. I mean, there should be no person that stands up and tells a woman or that stands up behind a woman on the debate stage and tries to intimidate her. There should be no way that's right. Or to say in front of people to say that if you grab a woman by the pussy, it's all right as long as you're a star, and then turn around and degrade John. What's his name?
King.
McCain. Okay, McCain or Kane?
I think it was McCain.
Yeah, John McCain. Who's the dude in Die Hard?
Bruce Willis. But I don't remember his name.
What does it play? Don't even play McCain?
Yeah, but hey, how long are we gonna refer back to those things, right?
What?
To when does the path?
When you say that you were wrong for saying it, then we can let it go.
He did so many damn things wrong that nobody could keep up with him.
Oh my goodness!
It was one
the
after
people
the other.
who were in his cabinet the last time would not be in his cabinet this time.
We voted for a reality show star.
Exactly, and we're expecting the Messiah. I didn't vote for that motherfucker. And the part that I hated more than anything, the part that I hated more than anything is I had to vote for this broad who don't even like people who look like me. Okay, I didn't want to vote for her.
So, I'm gonna tell you this. I vote for Kamama too, right? And now afterwards, I kind of feel like a dummy for doing that.
Because you thought Jill Stein would have did better.
I don't even know who. I do know her, but I don't because comedians making jokes about her. No, because I think that like.
It depends on what you wanted.
Well, I don't know.
You wanted Donald Trump to be the president.
Well, and I wish I would have bet on that app where you could bet because I knew he was gonna win.
I couldn't believe it.
I would have fucking made some money.
I couldn't believe they had an app.
Even
there was even on Wall Street they had some shit that said the futures. Okay, the futures went on who was gonna win the presidency.
anytime I make bets, I usually lose. But that was one bet I knew was gonna.
Well, we knew Donald Trump was gonna be president last year. Okay, it wasn't like, oh, we so shocked.
No,
okay?
I didn't know that. Not.
Oh, I 100%. Only people who could have beat
until-
Donald Trump this year, okay, would have been Michelle Obama or Oprah.
Or them two guys with the guns.
Which guys was that?
I tried to kill him. Oh my
How do you get shot in the ear, but the people behind you don't get hit?
That motherfucker had a cure-add Band-Aid on his
That's
ear.
what I'm saying. How?
When's the last time you seen somebody with a Band-Aid on a bullet wound?
Again, a Band-Aid on, and the people behind the ear shot didn't get hit. You know, come on, dude. I mean, you in the military.
Supposedly people died.
Yeah, I think a couple people died.
Okay, check it out. Of course, a couple of people
They don't talk
died.
about them.
But was there anybody who died around Donald Trump?
I hate to say supposedly, but
I mean, but listen, again, was anybody who died around Donald Trump? No.
I don't know. I couldn't tell
You had two people who died so that they could say somebody died. There's no way.
Listen. My first thoughts was
What?
when I saw or heard about that was staged, right? I think a lot of people thought
I've heard
that, right?
people say that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if people died,
What?
staged or not, it's fucked up.
Dude, check this out. People died in the April.
The shooter
April was the January 6th
Hey, the shooter definitely died.
when they went over.
The people still deny that happened.
Or the insurrection.
Yeah.
Well,
You
now
know the one that was on TV.
They called it a block party.
Oh really?
Oh,
Because let me just tell you, all them people are gonna get out of jail. Okay, and which I think is so wrong. And the wrong part of all this, then we're gonna move on. The wrong part of all this is that my only deal is that when you teach my children or my grandchildren that it's not whether you play the game, but just matters if you win or lose, I think it goes against American tradition.
Yeah.
Okay? It's how you play the game. You're supposed to have some class, and there's supposed to be some sportsmanship involved. Okay? And it's just not happening when he was the worst of everybody, and then they voted for this moron. Okay,
Well,
so you get what you deserve in this case.
And to your point about playing
And
the
that's
game.
the bicentennial minute.
No, listen. No, I think that it goes back to the individual. Luckily we can teach our people right from wrong, right? Morals. We can lead by example, and also I think that's another reason nothing gets done is because we have these huge issues. Instead of handling things one issue at a time for what it is, we try to group it all together and then nothing gets done.
I actually know somebody that's kind of smart. They said, "Do you know what the most looked up word was after the election?
Hmm.
Tariffs.
Really? Oh, tariffs.
Tariffs.
Oh yeah.
Terrorists or tariffs?
Tariffs. The tax.
Okay, let me just
I'm
say
not
this. See,
surprised.
I was gonna leave. I was gonna end it right there, but I can't help myself.
People don't know what the
Okay.
fuck they doing.
Let me just tell you morons something. When Donald Trump put all those tariffs, remember they had steel, Chinese steel, and all this shit?
Businesses closed
And
down.
they put them tariffs on China. That's right. Businesses closed down because China doesn't have to go to America and get grain and beef anymore. They can go to Venezuela, which is what they did. Okay, and shit just shut down. Freezers was full of meat, and the butchers couldn't get rid of it.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
grain was everywhere, and we had to pay you morons. We had to give the farmers subsidies, to keep this quiet. But it was all in the news. But wasn't nobody saying nothing. That shit did not work. It worked terribly. It was a disaster.
So
Okay.
hey, tariffs don't affect imports.
That's not what I'm saying. You can't play China's game because unfortunately, America thinks that they're the #1 economy in the world.
The way corporations work is they buy low and sell high. So,
And so
they're
what do
going
you
to go
do?
wherever the cheapest shit is.
That's right. And
no.
what do you have the cheapest shit where they have 5.5 billion people?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
That's the largest economy in the world.
a lot of our stuff is from China, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's where I was thinking the tariffs would played a role was
Well,
taxing them on.
I
Sell it
was
to
working.
us?
I was doing.
Or no?
well, if you put a tax on anything from China, they're just going to raise the
Yeah.
price up.
Yeah.
They're not going to lose money.
And they're not going to buy from you.
You're
They don't
going to
have
pay
to
more
anymore.
for what you just bought last week. You're going to pay more for it.
So here's my hope: if there was to be any positive outcome from
Mhm.
doing that, is I think we have a problem of not producing things in the States. So
That's
if they
because we go where it's cheap.
right. So if they were going to put tariffs, I hope it would be so that we start producing more of our own goods.
No, Donald Trump came to Granite Steel.
How are we going to
Illinois.
produce more of our goods cheap when we're getting
Yeah.
rid of all the immigrants?
And that's right. And Donald Trump came to Granite City Steel and told them that the steel company was going to be back up. It was never going to go down again. And everybody was so happy. And 2 years later, all of them don't have a job. Okay? Stop playing. You can't fuck with China. Because what America thinks is we're the biggest economy in the world. And that's just
Well, and the
bullshit.
thing is
we don't have 1/3
You know what
the amount
else
of
America
people.
thinks? That everybody's telling the goddamn truth.
Yeah, oh my God.
That's another thing.
Uh,
How many naive people?
walk around here, oh yeah.
Well, I think, and that's part of it, is I think people don't realize is the reason we went to China is for the cheap labor to begin with. And
That's why we sold
so
Chinese too.
are we willing to be the cheap labor, do the labor, and
Pay the high cost of
I
living.
think there's a bigger question.
It don't add up.
This is so is and this goes across the board, and I'm not just talking about black people. So
Damn, where
is
did that
slavery in some, because right now I think that there's different forms of slavery, right? Like when we use
Didn't a
immigrants,
comedian, was it Chris Rock, who said minimum wage is the modern day slavery?
right? So to that point, like
I never heard that before.
we are
Just made it up.
using.
Oh, yeah, I thought it-
no, he really
I
was.
thought playing football for NCAA was.
I feel like immigrants is legal slavery.
What?
And so could we function and prosper, could any country function and prosper without some form of
Low
slavery?
wages. No, that's profits are made off of that. It's profits. It's
So a bigger question
It's all about
is
money.
that a
Yeah,
natural
yeah.
way of life that some people will be slaves?
First of all, there's a natural way of life that there will be whores, there will be downtrodden, there will be pimps, there will be motherfucking drug dealers, okay? Drugs have been, they said it was a war on drugs. How the fuck can they could be? Because cocaine's been around forever.
big
Okay?
business.
And it has been. Poor people have always been in big business, okay? Because you will do whatever to not to have to deal with the fact that you are poor, disenfranchised. But what they did this time was the poor and disenfranchised had a Messiah, and this is what gets me.
Okay.
You usually get somebody who's come from where you've been to be your Messiah, so they can understand your issues, right? But then twice this has happened. Once, his name is Hitler. The other time is Donald Trump. okay? To where a person who has no idea where you have come from in life, okay? And you have put, now I get to stand on your back because you believe I'm on your side, okay? Dave Chappelle did say one thing, okay? Donald Trump isn't rooting for y'all. He's rooting for people like him, rich people, okay? And it don't matter what color you are. That's what gets us all fucked up. Because we talk about color and ethnicity. It only matters money. It's the only thing that matters, okay? So when you walk into the bank and you say, "Hey, my name is Michael Jackson," they're gonna open them fucking doors and give you whatever you want.
Right.
Okay? It didn't matter what color you were.
So
Okay.
there's this idea that comes with the focus on economy is if everybody has a better chance at getting rich, right?
Yeah.
Then the problems naturally will start to go away, right? And I think that's
Well, capitalism is the dream,
Yeah, that's the dream, and that's bullshit.
but it ain't. It's like
because the system's not fair.
Well, first of all, let's straighten this out. This is not a democracy. This is a republic. Okay? This is not a democracy. So why do we always keep talking about democracy? There's nothing in this country that matters but capitalism. Okay? That's all that matters. That's all that's ever mattered. And if you haven't learned anything how the CIA did people in the 80s where they brought in crack cocaine to the American streets, they got their own people hooked on drugs so that they can fight wars in other places. Only thing that matters is money.
Yeah.
You know, the American dream has been dead since the 30s. Come on, did you ever see that movie I told you to watch? The Murder of the Flower Moon or some bullshit?
I don't know.
I never seen that. Is that the one with the Native American?
Yeah, that's a cold ass movie. If you want to feel like you have some white privilege, watch that movie. It will go away quickly, okay? Because it is a terrible representation of people, but that's how they were. It's a true movie. In the South, they tell black and white people that you gotta fight. You know what I mean? You can't get along. You gotta fight, because as long as they keep you fighting, you know, you'll work for $2 more than I'll get. You know what I mean? But the job is worth $20, and you're gonna work for 12, and I'm gonna work for 10. You know, we keep fighting. The rich people keep winning. You know, color means absolutely nothing, and it hasn't for a very long time.
Keep the poor fighting amongst themselves.
Poor is big business, and that's what we are. So now that's that segment.
All right.
Because we don't want to keep riding that train, because this is not a political show. You know what I mean? But take us out though. So let me ask a question. When you are writing comedy, what do you think about?
I have a hard time writing. I have a better time at just getting a funny thought and then jotting it down on my phone. If I sit down to write, nothing. It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
How do you memorize shit, Brendan?
Me?
Yeah. Your name Brendan. Is your name Larry? I said Brendan like a motherfucker. That must have who me.
I'm not used.
I ain't tell the bitch. Not you. Tell the Brendan.
So glad you asked, CNN. Now I write it down and I reread it, and then I practice it, and then I practice saying it without reading it. I record myself, listen to the recording, look at what I didn't, look at what I forgot, and then I just. But lately, I've been getting to the point where I'll write, and then I'll read it, and then I'll just take a shot, and I'll just remember key points, and then I'll perform. But that's only like 5-minute sets. So, yeah, but that first part was.
When you 5-minute sets. Okay, so check us out. Is 5 minutes enough time for you on stage anymore, Lawrence?
Hell no.
Okay, it is so hard to do your set in 5 minutes, isn't it? Remember when 5 minutes was a long time?
I do.
See, but the way I approach comedy is whatever you give me, I'm gonna work with, right? So like, if you're telling me I got 5 minutes, I'm gonna make 5 minutes.
I got you. But it's so hard because you don't get to be you no more. Okay, but it used to be you know, it was so long.
How do you tell the audience who you are in 5 minutes? I mean, you can make them laugh, but you can't like get them to
connect,
get behind you and want to laugh with the stuff you think is funny.
And I'm not trying. So sometimes it's not trying to get them to know who I am. It's more of hopefully I have a chance to get a feel of the room before I get up there, and then once I'm up there, it's like okay. How can I connect with them in this amount of time? Right?
See, that's the difference between a younger comedian and an older comedian. Okay.
I ain't trying to feel the room. I'm trying to penetrate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, that's the difference. See?
There's this thing called foreplay, right? And it's very important. Says the guy who's been single for 13 years. I'll teach you a little something, all right?
Yeah. Not about foreplay. You can't possibly.
You just contradicted yourself with that
Yeah,
single move.
What do you mean?
Woo, that,
Maybe your definition of foreplay is different than mine.
and obviously it is because you got a whole family.
Yeah.
So,
Our definition of single is still the same.
woo, yeah, empty, slow, all by yourself.
Okay, that hurt. That hurt a little bit.
You brought it up.
The way you guys were in sync on that is like, how much have you been talking?
No,
Hey, just common sense, motherfucker. Okay?
We didn't vote for Trump. We were smarter than that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, it's only because you thought motherfuckers was gonna be mad. Okay, because you were gonna have to answer that question.
Hey, I may have in spirit, but I didn't physically.
My brother's a Republican, okay, and he has been, and I understand why he is, okay, because he's got some shit. And he's trying to keep it.
Hold on.
Okay. They should kill it this next one.
All right.
All right.
You're good.
Yeah, he's got some shit. He's trying to keep it, so I can dig where he's coming from, and I can dig where a lot of people's coming from. Because you know what they say, there are no Democrats in the NBA locker room. That's because they all got money. You know what I mean?
Okay, I've never.
They're
heard
voting
that.
for lower taxes.
Oh, they're voting to be able to keep what they have. And I get that. But here's the thing about it. Okay, if there's always going to be poor, there's always going to be disenfranchised. A society is judged how they treat their poor and their old people. And we suck.
You really think people care enough to judge people upon that?
Dude, check this
So
out.
Erica?
People. Did you just
To judge people.
You did
people
just
judge people all the time?
I'm not saying like judge in a negative way.
But
I'm just saying,
society is judged later. You know what I mean? We sit there and we watch the Cowboys, right? And we watch the Indians, right? And now we realize that at this point, the Cowboys were not the heroes here. Okay? When we were growing up, they were made to be the heroes. And they were not the heroes. Okay? And we understand that now. So to perpetrate them as, or even act like they are, at this stage of the game, that's kind of fucked up, ain't it? Kind of disrespectful to the American Indian, which who ain't even American.
I think what's tough about it
What?
is we make art around real life circumstances, right? And like you can't be, you can do whatever you want, but I don't think that. I think a lot of times our understanding of certain things is what we've seen on TV or in a movie, and so it's like that movie's not wrong for portraying it, but maybe how it was portrayed was wrong.
What?
I think it's,
What? Did y'all hear that bullshit? That's why it is the way it is, because of that right there. If it's wrong, motherfucker. Stop playing.
No, what I'm
you
saying
can't
is
have 50 Shades of Right.
there's nothing wrong with taking the picture, but what's happening in the picture might be wrong.
That's not what he said at all, was it?
I don't know what the fuck Brandon said. He kind of said what you said, but different.
Yeah. Which was totally ass backwards, okay?
Because I'm thinking of like old westerns, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people really like
You
westerns.
just because you show a Western, that's good, but you
Well,
don't
yeah.
have to show...
Right.
You show two people fighting, but you don't show what the
Yeah,
fight
but
was
I
about.
think-
Exactly, okay?
People-
Or you don't show when one person does something wrong, like when we gave the Indians smallpox, or VD, and all kind of other shit that they didn't have, they had no natural defense for, and they just killed millions of them.
Right, so
Okay.
so you didn't show that, but all I know is John Wayne, right?
See, and that's my whole
badass.
point. And that's my whole point.
And-
And now you think John Wayne was right, and he
No,
wasn't.
no.
Oh yes.
I don't think people look for
Oh,
right.
what?
It's
Bullshit. I was
what they
looking for
like.
my hero, and John Wayne was one of them.
Oh, Brandon just said tried to say some deep shit. It's what they believe in, whether it's
Or
right or
what they
wrong.
like.
It's not even about right or wrong.
Yeah.
And
Well,
shit, that's what this election seemed like it was about.
Well, I mean, the whole thing. Not just the election, I mean, okay, but because I hate all this shit, we're going to flip it real quick. You got a football team, guys? Huh?
What football?
You have a football team?
No,
You
I
don't-
stopped watching the Millionaires
No shit?
football. Yeah.
You start watching the
Yeah, I stopped watching too.
Hey, you just asked a legally blind man if he watches
Yeah, that's what I'm
football.
saying.
I stopped watching.
Yes.
So back to how long have you had jungle fever?
Oh my god.
No, for real though.
So check this out. So you have an interracial relationship, right?
Yeah.
Is that your first one, or?
Yeah, like I said, we got together like a long time.
Well, that's not your first one because you met her sister.
Have you ever been with a
friend.
white woman?
Not in a relationship.
Okay. Alright.
Could you see back then?
See, and I used to drive a furniture truck. Yeah, I used to do all kinds of stuff. I mean, yeah,
Really?
I could drive.
3D
So your job before, let's say before all this, before comedy and everything, you used to do what?
I worked at a furniture store for a long time, and then it got bought out. Then I moved to Vegas, and I worked at a beer, what do you call them places?
brewery?
Warehouse distribution center. They
Okay.
did liquor and beer.
Yeah.
And I worked there for about 5 or 6 years, and then I moved back here.
How was Vegas?
Vegas was wild. I used to tell people,
Was Vegas wild or Larry wild?
I mean, this is great. I used to tell people it's like being on vacation every single weekend. And then when I was leaving, I said, who the hell can afford to be on vacation every single weekend?
Oh, this cost me a lot of money.
Yeah.
So one time I was doing some Quaaludes and when I got on the plane, I woke up, I was in Vegas. Okay, at the Bellagio. Okay, I played a lot of poker. And but Vegas was fun. So is it really like that?
Oh,
Or
Vegas
is it a
is.
struggle?
I mean, look, if you can't have willpower, don't go to Vegas. But you're going to have show some restraint.
Willpower. That's what he's asking a fat man to have. Willpower.
Word of the day.
Yeah, willpower.
Can
Yes,
you
we won't
apply?
be going to Vegas no time
man,
soon
yeah.
no more.
I mean, the food, everything was overindulgence.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Everything was, anything you wanted is right there, go get it.
Oh, yeah. I brought my uncle for his 65th birthday to Vegas. And, man, we partied. It was ridiculous. Juan came to the hotel room with a big bottle of tequila and, all the weed things you can eat. Okay, all the edibles, even the ice cream had weed in it, okay? And then we went and we had breakfast, and then we went to my favorite place in the world, which used to be Popeyes, but now
The Heart Attack Grill.
yeah. Hey, I've been to all the Hard Rock cafe places, and I got little cups, little shot glasses from them, but man, you go to the Bellagio and just go to the buffet, dude, it's everything you can think of on that motherfucker. It is filet mignon, crabs, it's everything. It is like, I can get naked and just jump in the motherfucker. There's so much.
I really didn't want to have to picture that. But the last time I was in
You
Vegas,
didn't have to picture it, motherfucker, you nasty bitch.
I stopped there. My cousin bought me a hotel at Circus for one night.
I thought you was a Christian.
That motherfucker went out
What
there
does that
with
have
a
to do with me
coupon.
staying at a hotel?
Oh yeah, but that's what happened. They do that, Chris.
And
I thought you was a Christian.
I was skateboarding all over the city, and on my way home, 2 prostitutes asked me if they could come to my room, and they did not end up coming because.
Okay, let's first.
Because you only had a coupon.
Yeah, number one. Let's ask the question. Were they women?
Actually, they were beautiful young women, which made me trust them even less. It was like, what?
I don't blame you. If a beautiful young woman came and talked to you,
I need
I'd
some
be asking that
cranberry.
bitch.
I
What's wrong with her?
said, my
cranberry.
dog's
Little
there,
extra
and I would
cranberry.
hate to have to do that to her. They said, oh, well, one of us can hang out in the bathroom with the dog. I said, I don't think so.
Wow. That's gonna fuck your dog?
I don't trust him. I don't know.
See, even when you got a
But they
layup,
wasn't gonna fuck you?
even when you got a layup, you mess it up.
They
Man, fuck it up
They
every
probably
time.
would have robbed my ass or something.
I heard you. Wow. That's what they do in Vegas. They rob you. That's why they're famous
Larry.
for their hospitality.
So, you got any questions for us? Any thoughts?
No, unfortunately, I know too much about you guys already.
Really? This is why
Any warnings for America?
These ladies
Brendan's gonna be dating. And he's only 30, so he might get cross-pollinate your daughter.
I was gonna say, if any of you ladies can please find it in your heart
To give him some pussy.
just to donate a little bit of
Yeah,
text time or FaceTime
Yeah, a little pussy.
to this young man, Brendan.
Yeah, he's already got enough text time. He needs some pussy.
Because I need him to stop crying on my shoulder.
No, it's really rough. And me, I'm thinking he's a little weird. Because I'm thinking, I think he's a little gay, me. But I'm saying that, it's all right if that's what you are. But he don't want to be true to himself. But in 2025, he going to deal with all that.
And these are my friends. So, CN, you got anything else?
Well, how come you got dreadlocks?
How? Oh man. All right, I'm gonna tell you the real story.
As opposed to a lie.
Yeah. I like saying that rather than I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I made up everything before this. I had long hair, and I had a Jerry curl. The dreadlocks is nothing. So I want to tell people I fell asleep with a Jerry curl and woke up with locks, but
I wish I could see that.
I thought my hair was getting thin,
Okay.
and I said, you know what? Let me lock this shit up before it all falls out. And I
wish
locked
I
it
would have
up.
done that.
I locked it up.
Shit.
You'd have had locks falling out.
You ain't got no locks.
Anyways.
Look at that shit. Go ahead.
But I don't know. I thought it'd be easier to take care of, but it's not. And then I thought it'd get me attention. It might. And then at the end of the day, I thought it'd be pretty cool.
Okay. Hey, everybody, look at Brendan's style. This is complete opposite. And as you would have thought, it wasn't very cool, okay? But hey, he looks like he could be somebody's accountant.
And okay.
So, I just want to thank
good
you.
accountant.
I just want to thank you so much for coming. We got this T-shirt for you.
we got a T-shirt.
Kickbase.
You can't see the motherfucker.
I was gonna tell you. I think Sports Clips has an app now.
Really?
Hey.
A blind man is fucking over you and your hair. Okay. Oh my goodness.
I got a free coupon from Sports Clips.
You don't use that motherfucker. You cussing bitches out every time you pass by. How dare you, motherfucker?
I remember going to them haircut spots. I didn't like it. Didn't like it.
Sports.
You ain't been to Sports Clips in a minute,
Here's the
motherfucker.
T-shirt. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you so
I
much.
told him just get you a white one. How the hell you gonna know the difference?
This feels like quality. Where'd y'all
Quality.
Y'all steal this from
quality. Yeah, okay, that's Korean.
Where'd this come from?
That's
Korea.
my skateboard brand, Kickbase.
Do you advertise it?
I do. And so kickbaseskateboards.com, Kickbase Skateboards.
That's our sponsor, Kickbase.
Social media.
I thought it was Kickface for like a year.
Yeah, he can't read either.
I'm gonna smoke bass after this.
That's why I'm not bass. Because then I'll be back in Vegas.
But hey, thank you so much for being our second guest, for tolerating CN for an hour, and I'm excited to see.
I am delightful, motherfucker.
We do love you.
I am delightful. However, you not so much.
We're gonna post this on True Social, so get ready.
When we put this out,
we're gonna get Brendan a date, and Larry's getting his ass kicked. So the old lady sees this shit, she's gonna be like, "What the fuck did you say?" Well, you ain't happy, huh, motherfucker? Because he fucking with a black woman.
I don't remember saying that.
That's when Shakespeare was dating a black woman. That's when he said, "Hell has no fury."
oh my God.
Like a woman scorn.
Hey, Larry knew the line.
Everybody knows the line, motherfucker.
I didn't know it.
Oh, goddamn.
Brandon, you gotta do some catching.
Yeah, that's why you ain't getting no pussy. Stop telling people you don't know shit.
I can't read.
Even they getting pussy, motherfucker. It's just you. I said, hold on. I sent you a thing today where the motherfucker got some teethus and he got some pussy.
Hey, listen. I was at drill this past weekend, and I was talking to some of the ladies, and they're like, I said, I feel like I shouldn't tell people I've been single for 13 years anymore. They go, yeah, probably not. The first thing I was wondering is, what's wrong with you?
Loser, L. Loser.
Yeah, don't be so friendly, motherfucker. Don't tell everybody all your shit.
Oh Lord, that's a big
All advice says don't be yourself, and I'm saying fuck all y'all. All right?
No, be yourself, but don't tell all your business.
No, I hear you.
Well, I mean, yeah, be yourself. No, don't be yourself.
Tell them the highlights.
Hold on, let's stop playing. Being yourself has got you 13 years without a fucking woman, okay? Don't be yourself.
Be somebody else, yeah.
Oh my, please be somebody else, okay? And as to somebody else you are, if you see you coming up, turn around and shoot that motherfucker.
Be the exact opposite.
If you don't, you lose every night, okay? But, you know, come on, stop playing. The reality is, you know why women, you can't please them? For, you know, first of all, because this is hell.
I wondered,
and
my first
happy.
answer was going to be never satisfied.
Well, because you can't never satisfy them because this is hell,
But
and nobody's ever happy, and they're always wanting. But because it's more natural for a man to be with a man and a woman to be with a woman.
damn, that's some gay shit there.
Oh, I mean, it really is. I mean, when the first time a gay person come in, it blew my mind.
I did
Because
not
that
see
is
that
so
come
true.
in a million.
That's so true.
What are you
Well,
talking about?
wait a minute. Now, I've been around for a minute,
Yeah.
and I've met some women that are cool as fuck.
They like dudes, though.
No.
Well,
Bullshit.
I want to say I compare them to hanging out
With the guys.
with a guy.
That's right, because they're like guys. Okay?
But there's some women that can talk that shit, make you laugh, and fuck you like there ain't no tomorrow.
Yeah,
okay,
but-
now hold on. There's something you don't know nothing about fucking like there ain't no more. You know,
yeah, but try to make them your wife.
Okay, hold on. That's the motherfucker you. Okay, first of all, in America, okay.
I'm saying.
Do you think that the foreigner who wasn't gonna see nobody for a month or 2 months wanted the virgin or the whore? They wanted the whore. That is why mail order brides was making. They was sending whores out there to America, and that's the way the West was won. They sent whores out there. Okay, because if I want to be with somebody and I ain't gonna see nobody else for a whole month, 2 months, I want to be somebody who can do some shit. Fuck a virgin talking about I got to teach you some shit. Bitch, I'll kill you out in this motherfucking desert. Okay, I want a hoe.
I don't think we have enough context for a whole year.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, but the thing about it is though, is that it is more natural for a man to be with a man and a woman to be with a woman. Okay. Now, despite that shit,
No, I think
I don't give a fuck because I ain't being with no man. But the point is, that's why we argue so much.
I think
because it's more natural for us to be. If it wasn't for pussy, you wouldn't need women.
I don't think it's natural. I think it's easier.
Yeah.
No, it ain't easier.
I don't agree with
Oh,
you
okay,
saying.
you don't have no woman.
Hey,
Because
That's
I'm
how you
not
know.
looking at your booty right now.
Right.
I don't expect you to be looking.
Or your big ass titties.
Right.
First of all,
Yeah, you.
I thought you was blind, motherfucker. Don't be talking about my double D's.
See, and so you just naturally out here sucking
No, I'm just
dick?
saying.
Is that what you're telling
I'm
us?
attracted to a woman.
Right. There you
Okay, you might be attracted to a woman.
And I'm even attracted to a woman where I don't necessarily, the personality ain't linked. You know, there's
First
a
of all,
physical attraction.
Your ass can't even see. What the fuck you talking about you're attracted? But he's getting more pussy than you are, so, you know, what can you say? It's just like,
Well,
oh my goodness. You know,
I
let me
have-
just tell you something. If you're Speedy Gonzalez and the dude you're racing don't have legs, you're supposed to win, motherfucker. Yeah.
Hey, listen.
There's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, Larry is whooping your ass.
I swear to God, I think, ladies, please reach out to this young man.
Please.
He
And look,
he's
dude,
one of the
check this
kindest
out.
people I ever met, and he's cool, down to earth.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But don't let that be his faults. He's got some good qualities too.
He's got some bad ones too now. Don't let him, that's why he got no woman. Okay? Hairline, motherfucking breath. Is I gave him some new deodorant. He's wearing it now, so he should have some friends, but I doubt it.
He'll be all right, Brandon. I think Brandon's too picky.
So let me ask a question. Why do you think I don't like gay people?
Brandon's going
Am I
after
a homophobe?
tens.
Because I don't like gay people. Am I a homophobe?
Yes,
Why?
because you just said you don't like gay people.
So I got to like gay people?
You ain't even met no gay people.
Well, not too many.
He
'cause I
looks
don't
in the
like
mirror
them.
every
They make
day.
me nervous.
They make you nervous.
Hey, Brendan.
I'll tell you what.
That's why I
seeing-
talked to Brendan on the phone.
After talking to you for a few minutes, I don't think they're gonna try to get at you.
You don't think so?
Nah, you'll be all right.
Hey, after Brendan, though.
I mean,
Because every dude that he knows is a homosexual.
you know what? I don't
need.
need to know people's sexual preferences.
I do. I need to know right off the bat.
But if I could get along, you can make me laugh. We have a good time. I'm cool with that. But I
So
don't
you
mean
gonna
I'm
fuck
going
him?
home. No, I don't mean I'm going home with you.
Okay.
You know what's funny?
What's the deal?
I met this
If
lady.
you can make one person make you laugh, would they be able to take you home?
I met this lady.
Because Johnny Collins, I had a date for you. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
I met this lady, and she was talking to me,
Uh-huh.
and she was saying all the right things,
Uh-huh.
and I was kind of attracted to her. She was flirting with me.
Oh, she was flirting with. Hold on, stop.
Yeah. And
You
so,
understand what we talking about, flirt?
But wait a minute. I wasn't sure if this was a lady or not,
Oh, damn.
so I had to walk away.
Damn,
I walked the fucking way.
Really?
And then I went home and I asked somebody to look at this person on Facebook. They said, "Oh, that's a beautiful woman."
With the sound, the voice of
Yep.
teeth?
The boy, I wasn't sure.
Hey, I've been there.
I wasn't sure.
I'm just not willing to take that chance.
That's where I was at.
Yeah,
And then I kicked myself.
Yeah, no, because you never know.
But
Because they got like, you know, women, do they know that they showing their camel toe?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you know they have a camel toe prosthetic
Okay,
for
so
them.
like it built into the pants already.
Yeah, so for the guy,
Like shoulder pads.
yeah, exactly. For the guy who is a
or padded bras?
transsexual, they ain't had this thing yet. And I think that's kind of like false advertising. It's like corking your back.
Well, why do you keep wearing them though?
Well, because I feel like I want to be free.
hey,
I should be allowed.
if you're gonna take the risk,
They're sponsors. Hey, camel toe yoga pants. You can get them.
You know, and let me just say this. If I was going to wear camel toe, I'd like a blind guy to notice.
oh my gosh.
So I wouldn't notice me.
Yeah, motherfucker with glitter on it. It's
Yeah,
camel toe with
all
glitter.
I'm saying is, I want the blind guy to be figure I'll be safe that way.
Feeling around to find out.
No, you gotta feel around. This ain't braille lessons, motherfucker.
Well, I heard you've been tucking for years.
But-
Oh, well, you know,
Hey.
check this out. I tried that one time.
If
It's
y'all-
called a rim job where I came from, but y'all call it something else here. Anyway.
If y'all are gonna take the risk of hitting on a woman and you're unsure if it's a man or not, why don't you just take the risk of asking, "Hey, are you a guy or?"
Dude,
or
that'll-
That is why you don't get no pussy. Okay, this is the
One
exact
more reason,
Yeah,
baby.
It's
One
like
more
1,000. Okay, let me tell you something. I know you're as proud of
Hey,
him as we are, ain't you?
If you ain't got nothing going on in your life,
Yes,
you lonely.
Yeah. And you want to stay lonely.
And you
That's
do-
the only woman you've talked to in years. Is she a man?
What?
Just to be on the safe side.
Time doing crossword puzzles. Reach out to Brandon Ridge.
Yes, find him, y'all. Find him, please.
Help this young
Cause I'm
man.
tell you what.
Hey,
happening?
you're already walking away from the situation because you think it might be a dude. You might as well ask.
Well, I could double
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, again.
You ain't
then,
gonna
well, I'm tell you, I met this chick one time. I was in Freetown, not Free, in Texas, right? And it was, and I said she looked like Tyra Perry. I said, girl, you look like Medea. That motherfucker couldn't get rid of me fast enough. Okay, she did not want my punk ass. So telling
that's
a
not
woman,
flattering.
yeah, at all, telling a woman that she looks like a man,
Are you
or
a
she
man?
could be a man. Oh my God!
It's
If
over.
she ain't a man, yeah, you ain't got a shot.
I rather
You rather.
I rather lose that way than.
Ain't that like the guy playing T-ball?
Hey,
You're gonna always hit the ball while you're stuck there, but let me throw it in the air. Wait, it was supposed to be sitting right here.
I'd rather lose that way than find out later when you're feeling
I
a little
understand.
something.
I understand.
Yeah.
And the way you doing it, you want to worry about none of that. He is so cock-free.
I'm so glad you continued.
Oh, this is amazing. And I'm not real comfortable sitting up here talking about this homosexual shit with two dudes. All right? I mean,
I don't know.
Larry, I can trip, he'll fall, but your motherfucking ass, you gonna be a problem. I got COPD, I can't outrun you. You be trying to fuck me and shit. You know I got that pretty skin and shit. And then you're your fucking dog.
Oh man, hey, you motherfuckers is one of some of my favorite people in the comedy game right now, for real.
Thank you.
Can I have a dog?
No.
But it could change. But right now,
Cheers.
It's right under there.
Okay, let me just say this. I'm glad you feel that way.
You're our favorite.
But no, fuck he ain't.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
love
number
that.
one. No, he ain't. You were just talking about his punk ass the other day. I'm this blind motherfucker got something to say. I didn't say
I'm
nothing.
waiting for him to fall.
Yeah, not me. I was gonna videotape that. shit.
Wait for a call. All you gotta do is push them over. Tell them they're in the curve.
I know, but they ain't gonna blame me. This other black dude. You know what I mean? He's gonna be a pitiful white guy. He's blind, and then he gonna come with a cup, and then I'll send my black ass
Oh,
to jail.
hey,
What?
can I ask? Yeah, let me ask you, motherfucker, something.
What?
What do you get out of comedy? What do you get out of it?
I like making people laugh. I like having fun. I like being friendly. I don't like the snarky part of it because
He didn't ask you
competitive-
what you didn't like. He
Shut the
asked you
fuck
what
up.
you got out of
Send it
it.
on my-
Thank you, Brandon.
Stop
And
your
he is
bitch
such a
shit.
winner.
Stop
And this
being a
is why-
hater.
And this is why
We'll circle back.
This is why his dating card is full.
Nobody asked.
Okay,
Alright?
but I don't like when people are snarky. So I like when people can do what we're doing. You know what I mean? I really like that. I like the camaraderie and shit like that. You know what I mean?
But you know, deep down, not deep down, because that's some gay shit. But no, for real, deep down,
I'm not against y'all.
we can't all get along. Not everybody's gonna get
Well,
along.
we narcissistic, so that's the problem.
Well, that's
We
one
believe in
thing.
us.
That's one thing I had to teach.
What do
myself.
you like?
What I like is I like
You
the
get to meet all kind of people.
I like the
They
risk.
love him, they really do.
I like the
All
risk.
gays. The risk.
Yes, the risk. It's like so. Comedy. Comedy reminds me of skateboarding, right? Sometimes you land, sometimes you eat shit.
When you're
Like-
going for them big tricks,
Yeah,
they're gonna be risky.
yeah. And I love making people laugh.
That's
And-
all I like. I don't give a fuck about
That's
that.
that's my answer. I
Yeah.
love the feeling of making people laugh.
Yeah, all that other shit. I just think it's sad because we can all be friends, okay? But I get it.
You're the
In
problem.
the real world,
Anyways.
you're not friends with everybody. You know?
No, I did have.
Oh, hey, and then you got, I mean, shit. I mean, you
Shit, you mean Joy Lee? I mean, but go ahead.
You be too funny. And,
Oh yeah, then you ain't shit. Remember when you had that movie Predator, and they put you up in that costume and shit? You know, you was a hell of a shit for a long time. And then Predator 2 came out, and they went and got a black guy because they ain't want your skinny ass no
fucking
more.
set this bomb off. Fucking now.
Okay, first of all, if you're the blackest white guy I've ever met, so you can shut the fuck up.
You're the whitest black
I tried to put that motherfucker down the steps when he said, I got a black woman and a job. And you can't even see. I ain't got neither one and I can see everything. Fuck him.
I'm rooting for you, CN.
No, you
Brandon,
ain't, motherfucker.
I ain't gonna put no money on you, but I'm rooting for you too.
Damn, I don't know how to feel about that. But,
You should feel fucked up, okay? Because that was fucked up. Okay? The man just told you he wants the best for you, but he's not counting on it.
oh my god. These are the people I've decided to make my friends.
Oh yeah, you hooked your star to a Motley Crue now, buddy.
Motley Crue.
Oh my god.
Yeah, know all kind of shit.
I ain't heard that one in a minute.
Well, okay, it's kind of like his haircut. I mean, come on,
Goddamn.
dude.
Hey, we almost chased your ass down up there in Philadelphia a couple weeks ago.
Really?
We had some drinks and was like, let's go fuck up CN's.
We got Larry in trouble.
CN's trip.
Yeah.
That was a good night.
I got home at like 3:30 in the goddamn morning. I was in
dude.
trouble.
Did you tell your lady you didn't know what time it was? You couldn't see your watch? I thought it was about my lips.
I was trying to get Brandon Ridge some pussy.
Oh, well, you like you got on this.
She told me, hey, if you would have said anything but that, we know that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, you was out there fucking out because Brandon ain't getting no pussy. I understand. Yeah.
You know-
And then you know what amazes me, America? He wants to get a black woman, or even worse, a Mexican woman. He needs to stick with a fat white girl and be happy and, grow.
You got a passport?
Yeah.
All right, passport, bro. We can get you in there.
You got a passport?
I'm going to Mexico tomorrow.
Hell yeah, we need to go right now.
Shit, I got a job. I can't be going to Mexico.
Are
Don't you
gonna-
got FMLA?
Are you
Not
funding
yet,
it?
but I can't do it yet. I gotta
Telling
pay
me
for
you
it.
can't.
I gotta pay
You
for
telling
a
me you
wedding.
can't read text.
I feel like you're offering to pay for a trip.
You know you can't read a text. I sent you a text 6 months ago that said important. Read right away.
No, you got to call me, motherfucker. You can't do that. I mean,
I sent you some pertinent information to some comedy shit going on in Indianapolis.
He's
And,
been going to it
you
too.
ain't
He
even
just doesn't
followed.
respond.
oh, dude, I went to this comedy show at Crackers. Okay, and I got on stage, right?
You never
Yeah.
believe what they called him at Crackers.
I said, yeah, this probably ain't popular with all the brothers. Go figure with a fucking name like Crackers. They had 2 black people in the crowd. They thought it was really funny though. Okay, but
They must serve strong drinks there.
they're really not really strong at all.
I just
But I was hoping that you came. You know what I mean? Hey, you talk about identity crisis.
I don't see color. I don't see color.
You can't see nothing, motherfucker.
I've been colorblind.
You can't see
since
color, shapes, or nothing. Okay, Brendan. I know you're saying, oh, he shouldn't say that about
I'm
me.
trying to identify
That's
as a
my
rich
thing.
guy.
Well, I mean, you doing a very good job. I dropped you off at your house and your butler told me that I couldn't come in the foyer. You identified really well.
I wrote him up for that.
Hey,
You can't be talking about black friends like that.
I wrote him up. He got his French warning.
See? 2 more, and the brother gonna be out of work, you know what I mean?
for a man who can't see,
What?
there's gotta be something very special about black women that just keeps drawing him to them.
Man,
Really? Because their hair is tight and he can feel it. You know? what is it, Larry? Because
man.
he can't get over the
Listen,
jungle fever shit.
I'm gonna let you in on a little insight.
Oh shit.
I grew up during busing.
Oh, busing.
Wait, say that again?
See, this guy, I gotta explain it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear you. I didn't
Back
hear
in
you.
the day,
Oh,
school busing,
okay.
when the schools weren't being taken care of equally with the money
Yeah.
from one neighborhood to the next or one district to the next, they would bus kids from one district to the other.
Okay.
Or one school to the other, to make it like, hey, we're gonna take these kids from this neighborhood, put them over here, and put these kids over here, and to try to get the money to get right,
Okay.
for them to treat the schools the same.
Separate but equal. Didn't
But,
never work.
And I fell in love with hip hop, and I mean, you know, you like what you fucking like. At the end of the day, some people like vanilla, some people like chocolate.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, some people like nothing. They just feel they're on
And
a
then
diet.
some
They
people
can't
like
have-
being all by themselves.
Yeah, they can't on a diet. They can't have no ice cream. And you know this.
Diabetic.
Oh yeah, this motherfucker got class 2 diabetes.
Man, I would hate to have to end the show twice, but you know, that's been everybody laughs. Thanks for tuning in.
But they ain't finished laughing. See, this is why we got to. This is what we're gonna do, America. We're gonna strike down chastity. Okay, and Brendan Reeves is gonna be our chastity poster boy. Cause I don't want to say man, cause he ain't had no
He's
pussy.
got a
yet.
purity ring. What is it? A purity ring on?
Yeah, he does. And him and his father has a pledge, a purity pledge, where he's gonna keep his virginity till he's 35.
Ladies, help this young man out.
Yeah, so we're trying to
Break
fuck
this-
all that up.
Bring
And
this
look, let me just say this much. If the first time you give him some pussy, ladies, you got to break him off. Okay, you can't just give him a little pussy. Because, you know, he's not going to understand. I want you to break him off. And then when you break him off, hook him. You know what I mean? Look, get on his dick and then try to twerk. And then he'll probably pay all your bills forever. But I'm just saying, although you hoes, we don't want none of y'all. So we going to have to go get us some Pentecostal bitches.
Oh my God.
All right, let's go to that before I change my mind.
All right. We out again. Thanks for tuning in.
You guys are fucking insane.
It's the Tracy Podcast.